Your top story this hour, the Hawks have refuted claims of an alleged impending arrest pertaining to a controversial Gupta brothers. The City Press reported that the Hawks had obtained a warrant for the arrest of at least one of the Gupta brothers. Hawks spokesperson Hangwani Mulaudzi says they are awaiting a directive from the NPA. And according to Mulaudzi, some investigations have not been concluded and pronouncements of a possible arrest will only be made after the process has been completed. The Assets Forfeiture Unit is expected to serve the summons today on Gupta-linked Trillian and consultancy firm McKinsey for deals they had with Eskom and Transnet. Our reporter Glorious Sefako-Musi takes us through a brief history of the Gupta family.
The Gupta brothers, Ajay, Atul and Rajesh, relocated to South Africa from India in 1993. This was at the dawn of democracy and the country was seen as a land of opportunities. It's believed in Johannesburg, Atul started selling shoes from the boot of his car. Previously small-scale businessmen in India, and in no time they built a sprawling empire with interest in computers, mining and media. They were all housed under the listed entity Oak Bay, and their mining asset Shiva Uranium looked forward to the consummation of a nuclear deal. They also developed close links with the ruling ANC, and in particular with President Jacob Zuma, well before he became president in 2009. The Gupta's relationship with the president often made headlines. Members of the president's family were employees, shareholders and former directors in the Gupta firms. There has been deep concern that the Guptas enjoy inside knowledge of cabinet and executive appointments and allegedly have influence over the appointment of the head of state-owned enterprises and cabinet ministers. As such, they are the subject of the Public Protector's State of Capture report, from which a Judicial Commission of Inquiry has been set up after much legal back and forth. According to a letter submitted to the Public Protector's Office, included in the State of Capture report, total revenues from their business activities for 2016 financial year amounted to 2.6 billion, with government contracts contributing a total of 235 million of the revenues. And in 2016, Atul Gupta was listed amongst the Sunday Times richest list with the worth of about 10 billion rand. The Gupta family businesses had a fallout with the banks when they closed all their accounts. The controversial family made headlines when they landed a chartered aircraft carrying Indian politicians and 300 guests at Waterkloof Air Force Base for the Gupta wedding at Sunset in 2013. This was followed by another controversy with the new age televised business briefings that were sponsored by state-owned enterprises. And in a series of Gupta-leaked emails, it emerged that global consultancy firm McKinsey lined up a 9.4 billion rand bonanza from Eskom with the help of a Gupta-linked Trillian capital partners. The emails also show that after Eskom cancelled the consulting engagement in July 2016, it also paid Trillian 565 million rand. This was without any contract in place, but on the basis that Trillian was Mackenzie's empowerment partner, though Mackenzie and Trillian had already parted ways. Now the Pretoria High Court has authorized the freezing of 1.6 billion rand in assets earned by global consultancy Mackenzie and Trillian. The court made the decision in December after a request by the NPA to freeze the fees earned by McKinsey and local consultancy Trillian for advising Eskom.
We've been waiting for the past 9 months or so. Now the political winds have changed drastically and some obstacles have been removed in the way of the professionals and in the prosecution and investigative agencies. So you now do see some action. It tells you exactly who has been the problem. Abrams has been standing in the way of these investigations and prosecutions, and now the guys just had to find a way around him, and this is how they did it. And of course, his political cover is gone. They knew had he been still in charge and his boss Jacob Zuma still in charge, they would have had to struggle to get as far as they have so far. But the Asset Forfeiture Unit then has to grab the assets and sell them off if it is not cash. It has to freeze bank accounts of the companies involved, whether they are in South Africa or overseas. And in the case of McKinsey, a lot of them will be in the United States of America and in other countries. They have to be frozen from where they are until they can recover 1.6 billion rand in this instance.
Media reports say the arrest of at least one of the Gupta brothers is imminent. It is at this moment unclear who and when this would happen. Glorious Sefako-Musi, SABC News, Johannesburg.